In this video I'm going to explain the Setup Chucks task. Having a chuck offset makes it easy to change the chuck without changing any settings. Setting up a chuck offset is almost the same as setting up a tool offset. It starts by referencing the machine. So we press the reference X set button to reference the lathe. Next we place the chuck. I use a ER32 collet holder. Then we select the Setup Chucks task. We select a chuck on the left side, chuck 5. We change the name, ER32 and ER32. We set the chuck offset to 0 and we place a piece of stock. I use a piece from the scrap bin that has a shoulder, so measuring the stock stick out is easy. 18.33 millimeters. So we set the stock length to 18.33 and we place the stock. We have to select a tool. This is my preferred tool for this operation. And we place the tool. We have to set up the start diameter. I start by setting it to 65 millimeters and I set the home diameter to 70. This prevents running the tool in my chuck. Then we can press the go home button. It is important that the start set is set to 0. Then you can press the go start button. So this is our start position. When I now press the Z plus button, the carriage moves to the right and the chuck offset will be increased by 1 millimeter. To speed up things, I set the delta chuck offset to 10 and I press the Z plus button and again and again. As you can see, the tool has moved past the stock, so we can set the start diameter to a reasonable value. I set it to 14 millimeters because my stock is 12 millimeters. When I press the Z minus button to move the tool in the Z minus direction, the delta chuck offset will be set by half its value, because we changed direction from Z plus to Z minus. And the tool will move to the appropriate X position. Now we overshoot in the Z minus direction, so when we press the Z plus direction, the chuck offset will be set to half its value. Overshoot again to the other side, and we repeat this until the tool is roughly at the correct position. It is hard to see on camera, but the tool is just beyond the tip of the stock. So for a rough positioning, this is more than adequate. Now we select the facing task. We're going to face the stock to accurately set the chuck offset. We start by resetting total cut, and we set length at cut to the length of the stock. We have a start diameter of 12, a home diameter of 20, home set to 0 and start set to 0. Again, start set must be 0. We set the next cutting depth to 0.2 millimeters and press the go home button. We are now ready to face the tip. We repeatedly face the tip using 0.2 millimeter passes, and when the tool starts cutting we are done. So we turn on the spindle and press the repeat button. Facing is done, so I press the finish button. We now remove the stock and measure the length of the shoulder, 18.08 millimeters. As you can see, the calculated length of cut was 17.53 millimeters, and that has to be corrected. So we press the offset set button and set the measured length of cut to 18.08 millimeters. And when we now press the adjust chuck offset button, this chuck offset will be calculated and set to the correct value. And is set to 26.388. Length at cut is set to the measured value and length of stock is unchanged. Total cut is recalculated, so the difference between these values reflects total cut. The proof is in the pudding, so we're going to change the chuck. We park, remove this chuck, we place the stock, we're going to the setup task, and select the 3-jaw chuck. Select previous task button. That takes us back to the facing task. We press the go home button and the tool should be moved to the correct place. So we turn on the spindle and press the start button. So we change the chuck and it still cuts at the right position. That's it. Thank you for watching.